Welcome everybody to the continuation of the first reign. That's what I'm calling every king's reign. First reign of star-crossed kings. Redxwings is currently our undefeated king. He's defeated 2 challengers already. And now, this should be a pretty good challenger. We've got Redxwings versus CaptainSPrice. The map is Redxwings, as you can see. Oster in the north, Soviets in the south. CaptainSPrice has gone with shock rifle right off the bat. Wow, apparently no doubt in his mind that he wanted to do that.
It's ready to use. You found something?
Pioneers are going to take control of various territory sectors, and Redxwings has gone with a 3-pio opening because a 3-pio into fuel cache opening. Which is exactly what I thought he was gonna do. I'm not surprised at all. Classic Redxwings. And his squads are making their way across the map, getting territory under control. CaptainSPrice, however, has gone with a Tier 2 opening, which is very unusual on this map. Tier 2 opening and purchased himself a quick Maxim. So this is already shaking out as kind of a weird game. Pio is moving to harass territory over there on the left side. Will encounter combat engineers, and looks like the combat engineers should win this to take position in this green cover. Pio is trying to close the distance. Combat engineers were a little late to react in this engagement. Could go either way. One Pio model does drop. Ooh, but the Maxim's in supporting range, and the Pios will get suppressed and forced to retreat. So that engagement will go to CaptainSPrice, and meanwhile, Pioneers continue to simply take territory, while CaptainSPrice has secured building control over here on the right side, putting conscripts inside of this house. Pioneers closing into short range on these conscripts will definitely lose the engagement. Not doing nearly enough damage here. Take out 2 conscript models. Probably going to be forced to retreat thereafter. There they go. And Redxwings is now losing control of the entire map, including both fuel points on the left and right, but we will see that his 3-pile opening with fuel cache start has propelled him to just enough fuel to build his Tier 2 structure. He's probably going to transition straight into Panzer Grenadiers. No Grenadiers at all. No Tier 1 structure, just 3 squads of Pios to rapidly take a little bit of map control and secure enough fuel for him to field. Oh, not Panzer Grenadiers, but a scout car. Interesting.
Taking our territory.
Not sure how CaptainSPrice will react to this. When you see only Pios, it could be a good idea to maybe grab yourself some early AT grenades if you think that the scout car might be coming. I don't know. This isn't exactly a strategy that you see very frequently. And there's a scout car making its way onto the field. It's going to need to have a very dramatic impact if he's going to get some map control back. This fuel cache has managed to defend his cutoff for a little while. If he can get a scout car into position to chase away the Maxim and conscripts that are firing upon it, he may be able to save it. It's falling dangerously low. He's herded 1 conscript squad back to the Soviet base. Flamethrower here will prevent this conscript squad from getting inside the building. I don't think he's going to be able to save this cache, though. I think it's too late and it will be destroyed. There it goes. So that is a bit of a serious loss there by Redxwings. 200 manpower kind of down the drain, but he is taking back control of both fuel points while CaptainSPrice tries to manage the threat of this scout car. He oorahs into close range with his conscripts and tries to land an anti-tank grenade.
are losing supplies to the enemy.
CaptainSPrice has secured control of the Oster cutoff, so if Redwings doesn't get that back under his control soon, he's going to fall very behind. 222 does absorb one anti-tank grenade. Conscripts want to Oorah up and finish the job, but Panzer Grenadiers just hit the field. Oorah's about to end. I don't know. They might close the distance. It's going to be close. He could lose his conscript squad in the process, though. Redwings pop smoke. Panzer tactician from his commander. He has chosen mobile defense. Had to spend 30 munitions to save that scout car, but it will survive. Conscript squad gets away with 4 models remaining, so minimal manpower bleed, nothing too serious, and a second squad of Panzer Grenadiers is making its way onto the field. These pioneers will be forced to retreat away from conscripts there on that point, and this squad of Panzer Grenadiers is going to try and retake control of the strategic point. That's a pretty early field gun purchase from CaptainSPrice. He wants to take out that scout car, but at the same time it's a huge amount of manpower, and I think that's going to leave him a little vulnerable to this double Panzer Grenadier opening from Redwings. The main concern, of course, is that Redwings just has no map control. None at all. But because he has not yet lost this victory point for a super meaningful amount of time, he's only 100 VPs behind, only, and the bleed is slow, as tends to happen on Langerskaya. Pyos decap one sector there, trying to decap this strategic point as well, or not, simply leaves, tries to continue kiting these combat engineers, but they're not giving up the chase, so his Pyos will be forced to retreat. These two squads of pioneers making their way out of the Oster base finally have a little bit of breathing room and will be able to get the cutoff and munitions back under control there. This Maxim has a squad of Panzer Grenadiers in its retreat path. Pathing being blocked by the 222. Nice maneuvering here by Redwings. He may be able to wipe this. Or not. He didn't really block it any further, so I don't know. It's gonna be kind of close. Gonna be kind of close. Redwings will be forced to disengage by an AT gun, and conscripts moving up into position for an AT grenade. At this range, Panzer Grenadiers should perform quite well. There's a flamethrower available to support as well.
Enemy is attempting to steal our sector. Pioneers ready for anything.
This squad will be forced to retreat here, and the 222 is pulling back to the base for some repairs, and Redwings is now fielding himself 2 squads of Ostruppen. Since he does not have Grenadiers, his Ostruppen will afford him the ability to utilize the much-needed Panzerfaust, and also give him a cheap way to recruit team weapons if that's something he ever purchases. Which it will be. He'll be getting himself AT guns, so a cheap way to recruit AT guns once he fields a few of those, and he'll continue working his way towards 6 command points for the Puma, presumably to deal with any Tier 3 units that CaptainSPrice may choose to build before fielding IS-2s. Since CaptainSPrice has had such good map control this game, he's already up to 145 fuel, and if he doesn't tech any higher than Tier 2, he's probably going to have 2 IS-2s in the bank by the time we make it to 11 command points.
Our elite force has been promoted. Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Panzer Grenadiers take control of this strategic point. Ostruppen take control of this munitions, and they are probably going to get forced out of cover by that flamethrower, unless the scout car can push it away, which it successfully does. Maxim is suppressing the Ostruppen, but it looks like this munitions point will get captured. The cutoff has also been restored. Pioneers with a minesweeper making their way across the top left. Generally a good call, since this is a very popular location for Soviet demo charges. And mines. But CaptainSPrice has made 4 flamethrowers. For whatever reason. I guess as a counter to Panzer Grenadiers and Ostruppen. So most of his munitions is tied up in those flamethrowers, and there are no mines or demo charges anywhere. Panzer Grenadiers finish taking the fuel and will be forced to retreat away from the right side.
Our opponents are seizing the sector.
And there goes that Pio squad. These two squads making their way across the left side as well.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
And these various squads are going to start healing and reinforcing in the base. We do have a medic station going up, I assume, as soon as Redwings has the 60 munitions for it, which he doesn't right now, having spent 30 on his Minesweeper. He's also got this flamethrower and the 222 upgrade on his scout car, and since his map control's been pretty bad thus far, doesn't have a whole lot of munitions to spare. He apparently, I think he had a flamethrower going on this Pyro squad and he just canceled it so that he'd be able to afford the medic station, but he's not upgrading it yet, still just floating the 90 munitions for now. Panzer Grenadiers on the flank of these flamethrower squads are a pretty significant concern. If one of those flamethrowers pops, it could be problematic for all of them. His flamethrowers are doing basically no damage to that scout car. I don't really know what he thought he was accomplishing there. He will be forced to retreat, but the engagement for the center continues to go in CaptainSPrice's favor. Osttroop and hold up in this house. We'll try and hold the line for now. And a flamethrower is moving up on that Maxim. It will sprint to a more safe location. Field gun also trying to reposition to a more safe area, and the 222 will continue looking for opportunities. Medic station has completed here in Redwings base, and since he hasn't made any manpower purchases besides that bunker and reinforcement for a while, his manpower is getting up a little bit high, up to 300. He will be able to afford something in the near future. He might get a Puma with that. I don't know. He has 140 fuel in the bank. I'm not super sure what he's going to do. Puma will probably struggle a little bit if CaptainSPrice just goes straight into the IS-2, which it looks like he's probably going to do. No sign of him teching up yet, despite having 240 fuel in the bank. Just continuing to crank out combat engineers. So many flamethrowers. It's crazy. Massive flamethrower spam from CaptainSPrice. Which makes this AT gun semi-questionable. That pack is a little on the early side. I almost think he should get another Panzer Grenadier squad first. But without knowing for sure what your opponent's doing, you obviously don't want to be caught without an AT gun, so better to play it safe. But this sheer volume of flamethrowers is going to be very dangerous for that anti-tank gun to try to deal with. Tellermine going down right here, somewhat preemptively, and we have CaptainSPrice moving up to harass Redwings cut off again. And he's about to lose control of the right side victory point, which is going to rapidly accelerate the VP drain. Autocannon snipes a couple combat engineers there. I don't think there's any Soviet mines anywhere, with all of CaptainSPrice's munitions continuing to just go into flamethrowers. Redwings is trying to finish off one of these flamethrower squads, and it would be nice to be able to pick one of these up, but there are conscripts here in the base. I think he's going to lose this at 222. No! I don't think Redwings intended for that scout car to get out of that situation alive, because there's certainly no way it was going to, getting that close to a squad of conscripts. Pyos move up into this building. Osttruppen make their way into this house as well, and a squad of Panzer Grenadiers got wiped. I don't even know where that happened, but that is extremely bad. Reducing Redwings now to only one squad of Panzer Grenadiers with which to really combat this huge amount of flamethrowers.
We have 300 points remaining.
CaptainSPrice just has so much infantry. He kind of skipped the shock troop phase. This is kind of a super late game composition when you need a ton of repair power for your IS-2s. He's already got all the combat engineers on the field he needs for super quick repairs on those IS-2s when they do start arriving, and it's going to be quite soon. Meanwhile, Redwings has no late game call-in tanks coming to save him. I really don't know what he's going to do. He's lost all map control, doesn't have that many squads left.
Panzer Grenadiers standing by.
Doesn't really have a reliable way to deal with all these flamethrowers. He has the command points for a command tank. A command tank would be pretty good against those flamethrowers, I guess, but that fuel investment dies very quickly to anti-tank grenades and field gun and IS-2 combo, which CaptainSPrice will have very soon. So, pretty rough situation. Fresh squad of Panzer Grenadiers makes its way onto the field, secures some building control over there. Conscript squad defending this fuel with flamethrower support should be able to keep that Panzer Grenadier squad at bay. Redwings has yet to wipe a single flamethrower, as far as I can tell. CaptainSPrice retreats them. It's pretty good timing. Keeps those squads alive. Redwings, on the other hand, has lost one full squad this game, just one Panzer Grenadier squad and his scout car. But even that is a disadvantage he just doesn't seem to be able to afford. He's barely hanging on to territory, and CaptainSPrice just has huge fuel reserves right now, and I have no idea how Redwings is going to fight an IS-2 with his current army.
Supply lines have been cut. Machine gun fire! Fire! Get behind something!
Panzer Grenadiers are going to get forced away in the middle. Huge flame crits! Wow, that health got dropped so quick. So quick. Ostrupen forced away from the center as well. A little bit of light harassment on the left side by this Minesweeper Pio squad will secure a little bit more resources for Redwings, but there it is. IS-2's on the field. Once this drives into Redwings base, not really anything to stop it except for one AT gun. Doesn't have Panzerschreck upgrades on his Panzer Grenadiers. He just fielded a command tank, which obviously cannot hurt an IS-2 at all. So, kind of needed to get this a long time ago, at exactly 8 command points, not at 11, so that it would have had a small window of opportunity. Although, to be fair, there's a Teller mine right here, and that's pretty much the only real defense Redwings has. It's probably a dead squad.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector. Specially outfitted Panzer IV command tanks are now available.
Redwings deploys smoke to prevent an AT grenade from nailing his command tank. And CaptainSPrice does hit the Teller mine. He's got a damaged engine. If that had destroyed his engine, he might be in real trouble. With a damaged engine, he'll probably be fine. AT gun is laying fire on the IS-2, so it should probably back out of this engagement. I don't think he can out-repair that pack's damage. Plus, he's feeding it free veterancy. Command tank moves up to apply pressure to the repairing combat engineers. And it sort of hits one squad a little. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he can out-repair the damage of this AT gun. He's just sitting in front of it, but... Run, little command tank. Pop smoke just to be safe. Field gun setup right here is a serious threat. Redwings has access to target weak point now, and that is guaranteed to penetrate, I believe. If he wants to stun that and get a few more free shots, but he probably wouldn't be able to kill it no matter what he did here. Maxim has been deployed here on the front line, but it's about to get decrewed by Panzer Grenadiers and Flamethrower. 2 Flamethrowers moving up to support. Wow, really? Redwing's Flamethrower just burst? CaptainSPrice has like 6 Flamethrowers. None of his have burst. Redwing's bought 2 and his exploded, and that's just terrible luck. Command tank needs to be careful. Field gun is still available over here to screen if necessary, and it'll die even to one good AT grenade, which is probably going to happen right now. No! Oh, it does not penetrate, and the conscript squad gets wiped. Red Wings gets a slightly lucky engagement there, I guess, but he's taking heavy manpower bleed. His manpower is basically at 0 right now. He's got no territory. There's going to be a second IS-2 as soon as CaptainSPrice decides to float the manpower for it, and he has a huge amount of combat engineers with which to repair this thing to full health in mere seconds.
Yes. Ready. Ostruppen awaiting orders.
So, not looking good for Red Wings. Nor has it really been for the entire game. He was already behind when he lost the Panzer Grenadiers and Scout Car, and then after those losses it just got 10 times worse. He's really not been able to push the fighting off of his cutoff since. Only now is he getting a very brief break from the pressure. That's probably not going to last for long, as the IS-2 has been fully repaired and is moving to re-engage with a huge flamethrower blob. And CaptainSPrice fielded an extra combat engineer squad with a minesweeper so that this time a Teller mine can't be nearly as much of a nuisance as it was during that last push. Panzer Grenadiers are going to try to harass the north. They will get pushed away by the IS-2. Red Wings retreats immediately, knowing that it's on its way. He does have an almost Vet 2 anti-tank gun, and his command tank is up to 13 kills, and survived, miraculously, that last push. Whether it'll survive against the second IS-2, I don't know, or even this push that's coming. Field gun support is on its way. Command tank has to move away from that IS-2. Pack shots are bouncing or missing. Snipes an engineer though, netting it Vet 2. Utilizes target weak point to give himself a little bit more time. Red Wings again does not have the munitions for Panzerschrecks here, and I don't know if he's going to be able to push this IS-2 out of his base. Maybe. Doing pretty good damage. IS-2 decides to disengage since it can repair so quickly with this giant engineer swarm following it around. Command tank's gonna head to the right side. Red Wings hasn't actually suffered any squad wipes except for a full Pio squad for a while. But his manpower bleed is pretty bad regardless. Flamethrowers bring that squad to 1 man. IS-2 shot brings this squad to 1 man. It's been fully repaired and making its way into Red Wings base once again. The command tank is available over here on the right side with Pio support to try to take out the field gun and Maxim, I assume. And the combat engineer swarm is actually going to make its way to counter. Target weak point on the IS-2 again to land it in pack range for a little while before pulling back to disengage for further repairs. The command tank moves up on the field gun and successfully decrews it. If he can steal that and fire it on the IS-2, that would be a huge win, and clearly he's going to try to do so, but there's a lot of flamethrowers over here. And the command tank will disengage rather than moving to support the stolen field gun. I feel like if he had driven in, now he's re-engaging. It's too late though, the timing was all wrong, and there's a second IS-2 on the field now as well. He would have had to make a very well-timed, decisive push from both angles. Maybe crush a bunch of those flamers with the command tank, but now the second IS-2 is here. He's in an even worse situation now than he was a second ago. Command tank moves to block this IS-2 from retreating, but it doesn't even matter because the AT gun just got cleared and Red Wings has lost his AT gun. All of his Pios except 1 squad and the rest of his Panzer Grenadiers are about to burst into flames. And it looks like Redwings knows he cannot win the game, and CaptainSPrice will emerge victorious. Good game, Allies win, and after a short break, we will jump straight into Game 2 of the series.